Hello dear students. In my previous video, I have given clear explanation about types of offer. Before you proceed to watch this video, I will advise you to watch my previous video for which I'll give you the link in the description. Today, I am going to tell you about the essential elements of a valid offer or the legal rules as to valid offer. An offer will be regarded as a valid one only if all these essential elements which I will be mentioning now are present. In other words, only if all these legal rules are duly complied with, an offer will be regarded as a valid offer. So let us see what are the various essential elements one after the other. The first essential element of a valid offer is offer must be made with an intention to create legal relationship. An offer must be made with an intention to create legal relationship. So what do you mean by this? If a social invitation is made, it is not an offer. Okay? Because in social invitation there is no intention to create legal relationship. Say for example, if your friend is inviting you for a dinner today, okay, at his house, right? It is an offer from your friend, isn't it? This offer is only a social offer. In case if you fail to go to his house, he cannot take any legal action against you. Why? It's only a social invitation. It's only a social offer which will not lead to any legal relationship and which will not bring a contract into existence. So when will you regard an offer as a valid one? An offer will be regarded as a valid offer only if it is made with an intention to create legal relationship. Only then it will lead to a proper contract. So this is what is the first essential element. Now let me tell you what is the second essential element of a valid offer. The second essential element is the terms of offer must be definite and certain. Okay? The terms which are involved in the offer must be very clear, must be certain, okay, and it should be definite. It should not give rise to any sort of confusion. The term should not be vague. The term should not be uncertain. The term should be very definite and very certain. Okay. Let me give you a very simple example to make you understand this particular point. Let us assume that a person by name Mr. X offers to sell his car to Mr. Y. Okay. So Mr. X says that I will sell my car to you. He is telling this to Mr. Y. But let us imagine that Mr. X got 3 cars. He owns 3 cars. He makes a statement saying that I'll sell my car to you. Okay, this will not amount to a valid offer because X is not mentioning which particular car he wants to sell out of the 3 cars owned by him. Okay, so the offer is vague, the offer is uncertain, so this offer will not lead to any valid contract. So this is what is meant by the point. The terms of the offer must be definite and certain. So we have a very important case here. Whenever you write this point, you have to make a mention of this case, Taylor versus Portington. Let me tell you what happened in this particular case, a very important case, Taylor versus Portington. Here, A offered to take a house on lease for 3 years, okay, at £285 per annum. As you all know, per annum means per year. At £285 per annum, if the house was put into thorough repair, see the sentence, if the house was put into thorough repair and drawing rooms handsomely decorated, if the house was put into thorough repair and drawing rooms handsomely decorated according to the present style, this offer is not clear, it is very vague. Why? Because there is a mention, if the house was put into thorough repair and drawing rooms handsomely decorated. What do you mean by thorough repair? What do you mean by drawing rooms handsomely decorated according to the present style? There is absolutely no clarity. So, since there is uncertainty involved here, since there is vague condition mentioned here, this will not be regarded as a valid offer. Okay, so this is what is meant by Taylor, what is contained in the case Taylor versus Portington. I hope you are clear with this. So whenever you write this particular point, terms of offer must be definite and certain. You have to make a mention of the case Taylor versus Portington. Okay. Now let me tell you about the third essential element. The third essential element we have here is that an offer must be communicated. An offer must be communicated to the person to whom it is made. So communication of the offer is very, very important. The offer must be communicated to the person to whom it is made. Law says acceptance of an offer in ignorance of an offer will not be regarded as valid acceptance. Okay, the offer has to be communicated to the other person, and after knowing about the offer, if he accepts, then only the acceptance will be regarded as valid. So I have mentioned here, acceptance of an offer in ignorance of an offer is no acceptance. It will not be regarded as a valid acceptance, and such acceptance will not result in a contract. It will not give any right to the acceptor, because the offer is not at all known to the person acceptor. Okay, he is accepting it unknowingly, without even knowing about the offer, he is accepting it. So in such a case, it will not lead to a contract. So what is very, very essential for a valid offer is that the offer must be communicated. After knowing about the offer only, the other party will have to give his acceptance. So let me repeat the sentence once again. Acceptance of an offer in ignorance of an offer is not at all an acceptance. It is no acceptance. It will not lead to any contract. Okay. Here again, we have a landmark case, okay, where the judgment was given by the Allahabad court. So we have a case here, Lalman versus Gauri Dutt. Lalman versus Gauri Dutt. So whenever you write about offer must be communicated, you have to mention this case, Lalman versus Gauri Dutt. So let me tell you what happened in this particular case. Lalman Shukla was a servant of Gauri Dutt. Okay, Lalman Shukla was a servant of Gauri Dutt, and Gauri Dutt lost his nephew. Lost in the sense that his nephew was missing. Okay, Gauri Dutt's nephew was missing from his house. So what Gauri Dutt did, he called Lalman, who was a servant, to go and trace the missing nephew. Okay. After sending the servant to trace the missing nephew, he made an announcement. He announced that whoever traces the nephew and brings him back to Gauri Dutt will be given some reward. This announcement was made by Gauri Dutt after sending his servant to search for the nephew. Okay. This servant was not aware of the offer at all. He was not aware that Gauri Dutt has announced the reward. He went in search of the nephew, and he traced the nephew also. Okay, he traced the nephew and brought him back to Gauri Dutt. After bringing him back to Gauri Dutt only, he came to know that there is an announcement where Gauri Dutt has announced a reward. So he claimed for the reward from Gauri Dutt. The judgment was given that the servant is not entitled to the reward. The reason is he has accepted the offer in ignorance of the offer. He doesn't know about the offer at all. He was unaware of the offer, and he just obeyed his owner, that is Gauri Dutt, and he brought back the nephew. So the judgment was given that the servant cannot claim the reward. So what is the point here? The offer must be communicated to the person to whom it is made. Okay. So till now I have given you 3 points three essential elements of a valid offer. Now let me proceed with point number 4. The fourth essential element we have is offer must be made with a view to get the assent of the other party. An offer must be made with a view to get the assent of the other party. What do you mean by assent? Assent means consent. Okay? It means consent or it means approval. Offer must be made with a view to get the consent or the approval of the other party. So, to tell you even more clearly, if something is said jokingly, casually, that cannot be regarded as an offer. If a person says, I'll be selling my car, I'm going to sell my car. Okay, just like that he says, not with any intention to sell. Casually, while talking, he says, I'm going to sell my car. So this is only a casual statement. It cannot be regarded as a valid offer. So what is stated is, an offer must be made with a view to get the assent of the other party, with a view to get the consent of the other party. Any casual statement which is jokingly made cannot be regarded as a valid offer. Now let me proceed with the fifth essential element of a valid offer. Offer should not contain a term, the non-compliance of which may be assumed as acceptance. So let me make this very clear. An offer should not contain any term which, if not fulfilled, will be regarded as acceptance. Say for instance, if the offerer tells the other person to whom the offer is made, if you don't do this, I will assume that you have accepted my offer. If he says like this, that offer cannot be regarded as a valid offer. So I have given you an example here. A writes to B, a person by name A writes to B, I will sell my bike to you for 25,000 rupees. And if you do not reply, I shall assume that you have accepted the offer. Okay? A is writing to B, he says that I'll sell my bike to you. And he says, if you're not giving a reply to me, if you're not sending a reply, then I'll assume that you have accepted my offer. Acceptance cannot be like this. So acceptance should not contain a term. The non-compliance means not performing, not fulfilling. The non-compliance of which may be assumed to amount to acceptance. Here in this example, the offerer says that if the other party is not giving a reply, it will be assumed as acceptance, which cannot be there, which cannot be regarded as a valid one. Okay, so this is what is the fifth essential element we have. Now let me proceed with sixth essential element. An offer must be distinguished from a declaration of intention. An offer must be distinguished from a declaration of intention. So people may have the intention to do so many things. It's only an intention, right? For example, if a person says, I am planning to sell my house. Okay, this is only a declaration of intention. This cannot be regarded as an offer, right? So an offer should be very clear, as I told you earlier. It should be very clear, certain, definite, should be communicated, all that is required, isn't it? So mere declaration of intention of a person cannot be regarded as an offer. If a person says that I intend to sell my house in future, I have the plan of selling my car in future, all these are only future plans, they are only intentions. In future he may sell, he may not sell, it is up to him to decide. So all this can never be regarded as offers. So this is what is meant here. An offer must be distinguished, means it should be differentiated from a declaration of intention. A mere declaration of intention can never be regarded as an offer. So this is what is the sixth essential element we have for a valid offer. Now let me proceed with point number 7. Now let me tell you the seventh essential element of a valid offer. An offer must be distinguished from an invitation to make an offer. Okay? If there is an invitation to make an offer, that can never be regarded as an offer. The best example I can give you here is window display. Okay, so you must have seen in some shops, some products will be displayed there along with the price tags, along with the prices marked on them, along with the price tags. So this is what is an invitation to an offer. It is not an offer. Okay, after seeing that, public can make an offer to the shopkeeper, the seller. So it's an invitation. Window display is a mere invitation to the public, telling them these are the various products available in our shop and this will be the price for the products concerned. After seeing that, if anybody is interested to buy the product, that person will have to make an offer to the shopkeeper, and the shopkeeper has to decide whether to sell the product or not. Here again, remember, the person cannot compel the shopkeeper to sell, right? It's only an invitation. It's only an invitation made. Now, after the offer is made by the interested person to buy the product, it is up to the seller to decide whether to sell the product or not. So remember, a window display is a mere invitation to make an offer, and it cannot be regarded as an offer. Okay, so this is the seventh essential element we have. And the last point we have here is that a mere statement of praise is not an offer. If the seller is just making a mention of the price of the product, that alone cannot be regarded as an offer. So if a person is asking the seller, what is the price of this particular product? And if the seller is making a mention of the price, this doesn't mean that the seller is offering to sell the product. He is just mentioning the price, that's all. It is up to the seller to decide whether to sell it or not. Okay, so mere statement of the price can never be regarded as an offer, right? We have a very famous case here, Harvey versus Fuzzy. So whenever you write this point, you have to make a mention about this particular case, Harvey versus Fuzzy. In this case, 3 telegrams were exchanged between Harvey and Fuzzy. So now we are living in a world where we don't have the use of this telegram. Those days they were using only telegram to send the messages. Now we have this mobile phones and all that, and we don't need telegrams, isn't it? So in this particular case, telegrams are only exchanged between Harvey and Fuzzy. The first telegram was sent by Harvey to Fuzzy, where he is asking, will you sell us your bumper hall pen? Telegraph lowest cash price, answer paid. So he's just asking, will you sell us your bumper hall pen, and what is the price, lowest cash price for it? This is a telegram sent by Harvey to Fuzzy. After receiving the telegram, Fuzzy is replying. Fuzzy is sending a telegram to Harvey. Lowest price for bumper hall pen is 900 pounds. See, he's just making a mention of the price. It is only a statement of praise from Fuzzy to Harvey. Fuzzy never said that I am willing to sell the pen. He is just mentioning the price of the pen as 900 pounds. Now again, a telegram is sent by Harvey to Fuzzy. We agree to buy bumper hall pen for the sum of 900 pounds asked by you. Right? This will not result in a valid contract, because nowhere Fuzzy said that he is willing to sell the pen. Okay, so here there was no concluded contract here. There cannot be a concluded contract. Why there is no concluded contract here? Because there is only a mere statement of price. The seller is only making a mention of the price, that's all. The seller never says that he is willing to sell the pen. So, an offer must be distinguished from a mere statement of praise also. A mere statement of praise can never be regarded as an offer. As I told you already, you have to make a mention of this case law whenever you write this particular point. So, I have given you 8 essential elements of a valid offer. An offer will be regarded as legally valid only if all these 8 essential elements are present, and these points can also be called as the legal rules as to offer. So I hope you are clear with what all I have told today. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel and pass it on to your friends also. Please don't forget to give your comments. Only then I'll be able to post videos according to your requirements and expectations. Thank you dear students for watching this video.